cannot be emotional. Certainly we should not be racist. We should be realistic. We should embrace the need to work together. Sebab kita punya forefathers dah tunjuk jalannya. Our forefathers have shown the way. Bila kita nak kemerdekaan, ya, kita gerak melalui UMNO. Tapi bila kita berjumpa dengan British dulu, it was the Alliance Party, leaders of Alliance. Who went there. And when the British saw that they couldn't divide and rule Malaya at that time, they realized the game was up. And we got independence. Our forefathers formed alliance. Why? Sebab kerjasama antara kaum, permufakatan antara kaum itulah. That is the only way forward for our nation to survive. And why did my late father, after 13th May, decided not only to continue alliance, but to make alliance even bigger, to become Barisan Nasional? We mustn't forget history, the philosophy behind it, the thinking behind it. But the philosophy and thinking must be translated into modern times. The modern era. The modern era calls for us to continue to build this nation of ours so that we become better, stronger, be able to compete on a global stage. And my dream for Malaysia is to make Malaysia a truly world-class 21st century nation. Not a second-rate, mediocre nation. We want to compete and we want to be amongst the best of nations in the world. Sebab itulah kita buat macam-macam program dasar. Satu Malaysia. Rakyat didahulukan, pencapaian diutamakan. Our government transformation program, our economic transformation program, 10 Malaysia plan. These are very, very serious, in-depth policies and programs, thought through very carefully. Very strong, intellectual, empirical, and with the partnership of the private sector. And many leaders around the world have commended us. They say Malaysia is very, very progressive. Malaysia is very futuristic. But all these plans will not become reality and into fruition unless and until the people of Malaysia solidly support this transformation plan for Malaysia. Sebab itulah saya kata, saya nak sangat kemenangan dalam BRU 13 ni. Not because just we want to win, but because this is a part and parcel of transforming Malaysia into a truly first-class 21st century nation. We cannot transform Malaysia unless we get a fresh mandate from the people at the 13th general election. When I talk about this, one Malaysia thing, I had this discussion with Dr. Chua Soidek, and he was right. His observation on the ground. People say, Datuk, ini satu Malaysia ni dah gagal. Sebab ini tak betul. Ini ada orang buat racist remark. Ini ada orang kata macam ni. Ini ada pertimbangan tak betul. Yes. Because when I announce One Malaysia, cannot be at a stroke of a pen, everything is perfect. It cannot be. It is work in progress. It is a journey. It is leading us to something better. You know, changing people, my God, is so difficult. Even the prophets, not everybody during each of the prophets' time did the right thing. Tun Mahathir Mohamad, 22 years as Prime Minister, with all his accomplishment, wonderful things he did. At the end of his premiership said, if there's one failure, I must admit, I could really change the Malaysian people, he said. He said that. After 22 years. I've been in office 1 year, 6 months. You know, you have to be realistic. Okay, you know, one officer makes a slip, makes a racist remark. Okay, we take action against the officer, because we don't condone racism, I assure you. But proper investigation must be done, due process. And it's being amplified, you know why? Because of ICT technology. You know, in those days pun ada. They make remarks. They do. But sometimes you must make remarks, you must understand the cultural setting juga. I'm not defending it. I agree with you that the Malaysian Chinese should not be described as kaum pendatang. Yes, you came here at one time, but it was 3, 4, 5 generations ago. You are now loyal citizens of Malaysia. And that is my... Kita tak patut melihat ke belakang dengan sentimen dulu. Sekarang ini kita mesti melihat ke hadapan. Kerana kita sedang membina sebuah negara Malaysia yang progresif, yang berjaya di pesada antarabangsa. Jadi kita mesti meninggalkan segala-gala perasaan negatif, sentiments yang negatif. Let's look at the positive things. How the Chinese can contribute, how the Indians contribute, how can they work together with the Malays and the other communities, so that eventually we create a fair society. Do you know, we need to develop this Malaysian society as a fair society. And what is fair? That can also be a huge polemic. What is constituted fair? You know, you talk to a Malay leader, his definition of fair might be different from your definition of fair. But eventually we have to converge in our thinking. Umpamanya, bila kita tentukan pembahagian kekayaan, the wealth of this nation, it is, I would say, conventional wisdom and rational thinking. Kalaulah the majority of a country has a very small percentage of the wealth, that is not equitable. I think MCA would also agree with that. So what do we need to do? We need to have a nice balance, that the Malays feel that they have a bigger share in economic wealth, but the Chinese also feel that they are growing economically in our system. We always said, let us expand the economic pie, we say. That is why I'm looking for 6% growth per year for the next 10 years. We expand the pie. The pie gets bigger. We've always made this analogy about expanding the pie. When you expand the pie, in absolute terms, you're getting better. So we try to look for a fine balance. Because orang Melayu pun ada dia punya aspirations and their fears. The other communities also have, you know, their wishes as well. Even the orang asli sekarang ni pun dah minta more. Yeah, don't forget. Dia boleh tentukan kita menang di galas ke tidak. So, all these things, as I said, let us look at it in a Malaysian context. Let us be true Malaysians, because the future of the country depends on us working together as one Malaysia.